First up is the N-Strike Elite Strife. This is a 6-round flywheel-fed blaster. You got 6 darts that it comes with in the magazine. It has a lot of options for accessories, but it doesn't come with any of them. So this is a great blaster to expand, but right out of the box, this is all you get. 6 rounds, flywheels, and you do need 4 batteries, so you'll need to pick up AA batteries. This blaster retails for about 20 bucks, same as one of the other blasters that we'll be testing. But yeah, it's the only flywheel one that I have in the lineup, and we'll see how it fares up against everything else. Next blaster we have in our lineup is the Strong Arm. This is essentially the evolution of the Maverick, and it's got a lot of great features to it. It's still a 6-round, barrel-loaded, nice and easy, and it rotates on prime. But also, it does have slam fire, so you can pull the trigger here, and you can shoot this guy off pretty quickly, which gives it an advantage in speed, even though it's still a smaller blaster. This is the cheapest of them, from about 12 bucks to 14 bucks. But yeah, that is contestant number 2. Contestant number 3 is N-Strike Elite Alpha Troop. Oh, I'm kidding. No, it's a rough cut. Everyone was telling me, Mike, you should use an Alpha Trooper for this. And while it's a great idea, when I went to the store to go get one, I forgot, oh, it's a Target exclusive, so I can't use it for this test. These have to be blasters that you can pick up anywhere for what I'm trying to accomplish here. So this is the Rough Cut 2x4. It is a multi-shot madness, dual blasting, super awesome shotgun pirate thing of death. It has slam fire. It also has the highest capacity of any blaster that we have in this contest. It has 8 instead of 6. Little interesting to aim because of the longer grip there. Not a whole lot of room for accessories. Decent power. Yeah, we'll see how this goes for this guy. So here's our 3 contestants, and this is for essentially something that I call the most for the least. What blaster can you go to any store and pick up for the least amount of money and get the most amount of bang for your buck? The most performance, distance, all that stuff. And I'll be going through 4 different categories of how I'm going to pit these guys up against each other. So the Strong Arm is the cheapest of them. The Strife is probably the most customizable and probably the easiest to use of them. And the Rough Cut is the oddball, although it does have the highest capacity and it costs as much as a Strife. So right off the bat, these 3 blasters, none of them are really huge, none of them are really small. Things that tended to be too small didn't have enough power or ammunition really to hold up, and things that were too big were too expensive. You can get similar ranges out of most of the Nerf products these days, 75-foot ranges for most of them these days. You know, these are all pretty mid-capacity, middle-level, not going to break your bank blasters. So let's test and see what has the most for the least. Alright, so here's the name of the game for the accuracy test. That floating coat over there is a person that I need to shoot. I'm going to start off with the Rough Cut 2x4 here, and I am hiding behind a couch here with some extra ammo too. I shouldn't need it though because I'm going to be accurate, right? Right. Doing this test indoors because I play indoors, so accuracy outside really doesn't really matter to me. Plus there's, you know, wind and stuff out there. So let's attach this guy here to the Rough Cut. Give it a go. 2 hits. 2 more hits. 2 hits. And that bottom one misfired. The dart hit, but then that guy kind of stuck in there. Interesting. Next up is the Strife. Now this one should be interesting because it's flywheel based, which means there's not as much jerking around with priming the blaster, so it should be fairly accurate because I can keep things steady in between shots. Gonna wait for each one to spool up and then fire. Nailed him. Missed. Too low. Hit him. Hit him. Over his shoulder. Last up is the Strong Arm. So mount this guy right here. And let's get rolling. Down behind my couch. Missed. Nailed him. Missed. Missed. Nailed him. I think that hit him in the shoulder. And I'm out of darts. Interesting. interesting results. It's time to test speed on this guy here. First up is the strong arm. Prepare to be cleansed, infidels. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably gonna be the fastest one today. We'll see. Next up, we're testing the strife on this poor jacket. Well, not too bad. I'm gonna try the rough cut out on this jacket now. Now this is interesting because, well, there's really 2 darts at a time, so this is twice as fast? I don't know, you decide. Gosh, that bottom one keeps misfiring. See? There he is again. Same as in the accuracy test. Well, maybe I'll put another thing for reliability. To test distance, I decided to figure out how Hasbro was able to come up with their 75-foot ranges. So I came to their top secret testing facility in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, 1027 Newport Avenue. Here it is. Nice and flat. I'll be shooting parallel to ground, just like they do in their tests for their boxes. First up is the strong arm. I've got it loaded with blue elite darts. Easily 75-foot ranges parallel to ground, as you can see very clearly. Next, I've got the strife loaded up with white darts. These are glow-in-the-dark elites. About the same ranges, which is not surprising because they've all been tested for 75. Lastly, we have the rough cut. This has got zombie strike darts, but they're the same as elites. Just different colors so that I can see when we get down there. I mean, over there. Directly over there. See? Parallel to the ground, just like Nerf. In this last test, I'm using some tissue paper left over from some of our wedding gifts for these blasters to shoot through. I'm taping them down with painter's tape, making them nice and tight, and we'll see which of these blasters punch through. Should be fun. First up is the rough cut. Ouch. Yeah, that's a pretty good hole. And then another one going here too. So, he hit pretty hard. Let's compare the others. Got the strong arm all loaded up. Let's go for it. Huh. That one decided to keep a dart. That was a pretty mean hole there. That one hit really hard. Cool. Oh, and another little hole up there. So it looks like a little more damage, even though it's only 1 dart at a time. Last but not least, we got the strife. I'm going to have it at full power for each one of these shots just to be fair with this. Alright, let's see how we do. Oh. That last one, I think, hit the frame here, but you can see it still did a little rip there. Not the most perfect target in the world, but man, this thing hit hard in some spots. So let's compare them. There are 4 tenets that really make up Nerf blasters these days, at least according to Nerf. Speed, power, distance, and accuracy. 4 things that we've managed to test over these videos, and that's really what makes this Nerf or nothing, according to them. So, in the category of speed, the strong arm took the cake. Even though it is, you know, the strife you can pull the trigger over and over and over again, the strong arm, the slam fire is still a little bit quicker than that. And while the rough cut has a slam fire feature, it's a longer prime and it's a little bit more awkward to use. This one's a lot quicker. So when it came to power, the Strong Arm and the Strife were neck and neck. They both had pretty good power that they were putting down. The Rough Cut is a powerful blaster with 2 darts at a time, but it doesn't seem to have the same punch, even when it comes to 1 dart that the Strife and the Strong Arm have. When it came to distance, well, they all kind of get the same distance. They're all 75-foot ranges. Whether that's true or not, their shortest range is going to be the shortest range for all of them. And when it came to accuracy, the Rough Cut actually, strangely enough, took the cake for that one. I'm not entirely certain why. Maybe I should use this more often for being accurate with. You don't really think of a shotgun type blaster being accurate, but except for that one misfire that we had in the last chamber, all 6 of the other darts, they didn't bounce off each other or anything. They managed to hit their target. However, when it boils down to it, the Rough Cut only won 1 category, the Strife and the Strong Arm tied a category, and the Strong Arm won 1. So, it's a close race. There's not a, one winner completely over the others, but the Strong Arm tends to be our guy, and I'm happy about that, because I like the fact that the cheapest blaster of these still has great features and good enough performance to make it worth it. So, by my count, this is my opinion, and after my tests, which may or may not be biased or wrong, or you can pick them apart however you want, in my books, the Strong Arm is the most for the least.